Big time breaking news out of Colorado tonight, where the conspiracy theory clowns and Magadonian election denying liars are literally crying right now.
Election denier Tina Peters now shares a title with former President Donald Trump. They're convicted felons. Jury convicted the former Republican Mesa County clerk for leading the security breach into her own county system back in 2021.
It took jurors a matter of hours to convict Peters guilty on 7 of 10 counts. And as Marshall Zellinger shows us, while she didn't react when the verdict was read, she left the court with tears in her eyes.
She was charged with 4 felony and 3 misdemeanor charges in August for using another person's security badge to allow someone associated with MyPillow founder Mike Lindell, a guy who argued with a 12-year-old.
There was one down in Georgia, 3 Democrats.
I'm from Georgia.
Okay, there's 3 Democrats in Georgia in the summer of 22. She's a good friend of mine. She got 0 votes in her own precinct.
Who is it?
It's a Brenda. I'm not telling you her last name on your
I see.
But you see. But let me tell you.
No proof.
And also is a prominent election denier and friend of Donald Trump, access to county election equipment involving Dominion voting systems. Because clearly the most trustworthy people in the room are not Dominion voter workers themselves, but Mike Lindell's associates. If that sounds stupid and batshit insane to you, and you think to yourself, wow, that person deserves to be behind bars, well, do I have some excellent footage for you. Because the judge gave her a WWE-style smackdown in his brutal conviction speech of her that we'll see in a second, and she tried to defend herself. It is a truly glorious thing to see someone getting their just desserts like this, especially when you consider she had literally just said this on live TV.
What do you think the chances are that you and or Donald Trump are in prison a year or 2 from now?
Well, I'll tell you, if I thought I was going to prison, I would probably be on the beach somewhere, but relaxing. It's just like with Donald Trump's indictment. My indictment has nothing to do with the facts.
Right, nothing to do with the facts that literally got you sentenced to 9 years in prison. And before I show you the humiliating and cathartic clip of her crying in court and the judge handing down this brutal sentence, allow me to play a little bit of the body cam footage for when she was first arrested.
No. Randy, put your cup down and turn around. Ma'am?
No. Let go of me. You let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Oh, no. Let go of me. It hurts. Let go of me.
Do you understand?
Stop it. No, let go of me. Yes, you are, Caleb.
Yeah, a little late there, lady. Maybe you should have said stop it when you were committing election fraud. And I know those cuffs hurt, but you hurt our democracy. And you're getting served by the long arm of the law. Listen, lady, if you couldn't do the time, you shouldn't have done the crime. But just wait till you hear the utter BS she was spewing at the judge while crying that pissed him off even more and resulted in him giving her this brutal conviction that we'll see right afterwards.
In the machine, whatever it tabulates is whatever it tabulates.
No, it doesn't. It changes.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay,
whatever
please.
it tabulates is whatever it tabulates. My hand vote, my ballot remains the same. They counted those ballots. Did they not?
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor.
Did they count the ballots?
No, the ballot images were changed, and that's what the total shows. Okay, I'll move off of this because I can see that I would encourage to read the report number 3.
I've read them, ma'am.
You've read all of them?
I've read those reports. They were given to me at some point, I believe.
Good, good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right, let me move on. It's not funny. My life is on the line here, Your Honor.
No, you're the one who's making this allegation that, one,
It's
I think
not
it's
an
funny,
allegation.
and 2, that I know it's true. You're saying that as if I believe you, and I did not say that.
Okay.
That is why I made the sound, because it's insulting to me for you to just put that in a record in front of all of these people that I believe something to be true.
Okay, and I apologize for that, Your Honor. That wasn't my intent. I do apologize for that.
I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen. You don't have those histories of drug and alcohol abuse. There's no lifetime of trauma, not even close. to the type of mitigating circumstances I would see from many folks who sit in that chair. No, to the contrary, Ms. Peters, you are a privileged person. You are as privileged as they come. And you use that privilege to obtain power, a following, and fame. And to be sure, there's no doubt in my mind that it's exactly what you wanted, and it defies all sense of common sense to believe when you suggested to me a few moments ago that you didn't want this attention. No, you crave it, ma'am. And there is no one in this courtroom who would consider that to be anything other than the absolute truth. But to get to the point of what it is that you did here, it's my impression distinctly that you never took your job of clerking particularly seriously. You didn't complete the certification. One scandal after another followed you in your time as the clerk. And ultimately, it was a belief that the echo chamber in which you live couldn't be wrong, among other things, that led you to do what you did here. This thought process, unfortunately, seems to consume so many in our country, regardless of race, gender, political affiliation, or the like, that what it is we hear and think can't possibly be wrong. There are many things in my mind that are crystal clear about this case. You are no hero, you abused your position, and you're a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. In your world, it's all about you. But at bottom, this case was about your corrupt conduct and how no one is above the law. No one in this country has absolute power. Your position as a clerk and recorder, a constitutional position, does not provide you with a means by which to do your own investigation, to not listen to the judiciary, to not listen to the executives higher than you, to not listen to the legislature who sets the law as it may be. This is nonsense. Our system of government can't function when people in government think that somehow, some way, the power they've been given is absolute in all respects. And that's where you fell. You have no respect for the checks and balances of government. You have no respect for this court. You have no respect for law enforcement. And you do not have respect for your fellow colleagues when you were a clerk and recorder who weren't lockstep in your beliefs. So prison is the only place that duly meets the purposes of sentencing in this matter. And therefore the sentence and judgment of the court is as follows. As to counts 1 and 4, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years in the Department of Corrections. Those sentences will be concurrent to each other. As to count 2, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years consecutive to counts 1 and 4. As it relates to the misdemeanor charges, count 8 is 120 days in the Mesa County Detention Facility, concurrent to count 9 and 10, which will be 6 months in the Mesa County Detention Facility, consecutive to the prison sentence. The reason those sentences are consecutive is because those sentences are, as the prosecution stated, directly related to what it is that you did here in our community, the damage you caused this community, the breach of your oath to the electorate in Mesa County.
And do you want to talk about the verdict?
No, I'll have remarks later. Thank you.
Protected by about a dozen people, now convicted Republican former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters left court this evening after she was found guilty on 7 of 10 counts from a 2021 security breach of her election equipment.
And that is justice finally served. And thankfully so, because almost everything that judge said is applicable to Donald Trump as well. So let's hope we also get to see his election denying ass cry his way off to prison sometime soon.